plant-based diets have surged in popularity, driven by health, environmental, and ethical considerations. Alongside this trend, plant-based meat alternatives, burgers, sausages, and nuggets made from soy, pea protein, or other processed plant ingredients have become widely available, offering convenient and palatable options for individuals seeking to reduce animal consumption. While these products often boast high protein content and favorable nutrient labeling, emerging research suggests that processed plant proteins may affect metabolism, digestion, and inflammation differently than whole, minimally processed plant foods, highlighting both challenges and opportunities for optimizing dietary strategies. One notable difference lies in digestion and nutrient absorption. Whole plant foods such as beans, lentils, quinoa, nuts, seeds, and vegetables are rich in fiber, polyphenol, and micronutrients, all of which influence how the body processes macronutrients and regulates energy. Fiber slows the digestion of carbohydrates and proteins, moderating postprandial blood sugar spikes and promoting satiety, while polyphenol and phytochemicals can modulate enzyme activity and support gut microbial diversity. In contrast, many plant-based meat alternatives rely on concentrated protein isolates, starches, and emulsifiers, which can be more rapidly digested and absorbed. This rapid digestion may lead to faster spikes in amino acid availability, potentially affecting insulin signaling and satiety responses differently than whole foods. While these differences do not inherently negate the health benefits of plant-based proteins, they suggest that the metabolic effects of processed alternatives are distinct and merit careful consideration. Inflammation is another area where differences between processed plant proteins and whole foods emerge. Whole plant foods contain anti-inflammatory compounds such as flavonoids, carotenoids, and other antioxidants, which can help modulate immune responses and reduce oxidative stress. By contrast, some highly processed plant-based meats contain additives, refined starches, or flavor enhancers that may elicit mild inflammatory responses in certain individuals. However, this is highly context-dependent. The overall dietary pattern, frequency of consumption, and complementary nutrient intake all influence outcomes. Research indicates that when plant-based meat alternatives are incorporated into a balanced diet rich in fruits, vegetables, and minimally processed grains, their impact on inflammation is minimal, and they can serve as convenient, protein-rich options that support diverse and nutrient-rich meals. Metabolic responses to processed plant proteins also differ from those to whole foods in subtle but meaningful ways. For example, studies examining postprandial glucose and lipid responses suggest that meals centered on whole plant foods often result in more gradual glucose absorption and favorable insulin dynamics compared with meals containing highly processed plant proteins. This may relate to the lower fiber content and altered macronutrient matrix in processed products. On the other hand, plant-based meat alternatives can still provide high-quality protein to support muscle synthesis, metabolic rate, and energy expenditure. Their concentrated protein content can be particularly beneficial for individuals with higher protein needs, such as athletes, older adults, or those engaged in strength training, providing a convenient way to meet daily requirements without relying on animal products. The gut microbiome also responds differently to processed plant proteins versus whole foods. Fiber-rich whole foods serve as prebiotics, feeding beneficial gut bacteria and promoting the production of short-chain fatty acids, which have wide-ranging effects on metabolic health, including improved insulin sensitivity, appetite regulation, and anti-inflammatory benefits. Processed plant proteins, especially when low in fiber, provide fewer substrates for these beneficial microbes. Nevertheless, many plant-based meat alternatives are increasingly formulated with added fibers, legumes, and resistant starches to help bridge this gap. When combined with whole food-based meals, these products can integrate into a diet that continues to support microbial diversity and metabolic resilience. Despite these differences, processed plant-based meats offer important advantages in promoting dietary adherence and nutritional adequacy. For individuals transitioning from animal-based diets or managing limited cooking time, these products make it easier to meet protein needs without compromising taste or convenience. They can also contribute to sustainable eating patterns by reducing reliance on resource-intensive animal agriculture. From a positive perspective, these products represent a stepping stone toward greater plant-based consumption, allowing individuals to adopt healthier dietary patterns while gradually increasing intake of whole, fiber-rich plant foods alongside convenient protein alternatives. Another encouraging aspect is the flexibility afforded by combining processed plant proteins with minimally processed whole foods. Meals that pair plant-based meat alternatives with vegetables, legumes, grains, and healthy fats create a nutrient-dense matrix that mitigates rapid absorption of isolated proteins, supports balanced metabolic responses, and enhances satiety. This demonstrates that potential differences in digestion or inflammatory signaling are not limitations, but opportunities to optimize meal composition for both metabolic health and lifestyle convenience. By thoughtfully integrating processed alternatives within a diverse, plant-forward diet, individuals can enjoy the benefits of high-protein intake while maintaining stable energy, supporting gut health, and promoting long-term metabolic flexibility. Overall, the emerging evidence highlights that while processed plant-based meats may differ metabolically from whole plant foods, they are not inherently detrimental. They serve as practical, high-protein options that complement a wider plant-based diet, support sustainability, and facilitate adherence to dietary goals. Awareness of these differences allows individuals to make informed choices, ensuring that processed products are consumed in the context of fiber-rich, nutrient-dense meals that support digestion, reduce inflammation, and promote metabolic resilience. In this light, plant-based meat alternatives are not a replacement for whole foods but a valuable component of a thoughtful, adaptable, and health-promoting diet, illustrating how convenience, taste, and nutritional quality can coexist to advance both individual and environmental well-being.